fond of.
You ever wonder how a one-off co-op survival mode in a video game that used to put quotes about the horrors of war on screen when you died turned into this? 16 years on, it's hard to reconcile what the original Nazi Zombies mode from 2008's World at War used to be with the outrageous Resident Evil 6 inspired camp fest Zombies has become. I'm not saying this in a bad way. Black Ops 6's take on the mode is thrilling and unique thanks to all new movement mechanics, good map designs, some absolutely killer Easter eggs, lots of truly absurd guns, and the glorious return of round-based gameplay. So while I might not understand how we got here, I'm definitely not complaining about the end result.
You know what they say about horseshoes and hand grenades.
Black Ops 6's Zombies mode features two all-new maps, Terminus, a prison complex turned bio-research station, and Liberty Falls, a small town in West Virginia whose slice of quaint Americana is about to test itself against the worst day ever. Spoiler, it doesn't seem to be going well for the Americana. The story itself is a direct sequel to the Zombies campaign in 2020's Black Ops Cold War. If you, like me, have largely forgotten what happened in the intervening 4 years, there doesn't seem to be much of an attempt to catch you up. That means you're going to hear a lot of proper noun-filled dialogue that have me going, I vaguely remember that person, a little too often.
By the way, I've decrypted more Tanovsky files.
That said, there are some neat story beats here. I'll avoid spoilers, but you get more out of each map if you pay attention to the subtle details. I wish I could say the same for the mid-combat dialogue. Mostly I wanted the voices in my ear, and the characters I was playing, to shut up.
Your timing for this rescue mission is not ideal.
They have the modern video game character problem, which is to say they all talk too much. Their banter is like something compiled from a Schwarzenegger film penned by ChatGPT.
Is focusing that long really too much for you?
I'm not expecting poetry here, but at least give me some Gears of War level banter, you know?
I guess we'll find out, huh?
Some of it is admittedly funny. I like Gray's one about how she wanted a protractor to calculate an impact angle, but mostly it's just kind of there.
Whew. Is it normal to feel a bit jittery after that?
Writing aside, you know what is pretty sick? The gameplay. The biggest change here is Omni-Movement, Black Ops 6's complete overhaul of Call of Duty's basic movement mechanics. You can sprint, slide, and dive in every direction, even chaining these moves together. You've also got a full 360 degrees of motion, which means you can do sick stuff like sprint backwards, pull off a retreating dive, put on the zombies approaching you from every angle, and then get up and keep moving before they even get close. We haven't seen zombie killing moves like this since Resident Evil 6, minus a few suplexes here and there. Dear Treyarch, please add suplexes. Love, Will. The point I'm making is that this feels good. That said, Omni-Movement is more of a cool addition rather than something you'll use all the time, especially as the zombies get more numerous in the later rounds. My favorite thing about this year's Zombies mode are the maps themselves. I prefer Liberty Falls over Terminus because I vibe with its more open areas and the unique travel options you have, like those extremely entertaining zip lines. I also enjoy its more traditional structure of pay essence to open doors over Terminus's restore power to the generators to open doors twist.
Amp unit activated.
But that's not to say Terminus doesn't do anything cool. At one point, you have to use a little outboard-powered raft to venture to the smaller islands to do the next step in its Easter egg-fueled story mode. When my team and I first landed on a beach, a herd of zombies popped out of the ground like a bunch of really angry undead cabbages, but c'est la vie, right? C'est la undead? I don't speak French. What I really do like are the Easter eggs unique to each map. Black Ops 6's Zombies mode has you constantly moving, unlocking new areas, and trying to complete that map's main quest during each round. That means a lot of running for your life and trying to earn enough essence to open the way to the next area, buy a new weapon, or upgrade a gun you like at a pack-a-punch machine.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
Discovering the Easter eggs is most of the fun. You've got your main quest ones, of course, like solving the math equations in Terminus' science lab to build your incredibly powerful wonder weapon, or using it to then shoot some ceiling tentacles you've summoned and find the hard drive they've eaten. But the truly fun stuff are the optional Easter eggs, finding all the bowling shoes on Liberty Falls and going zombie bowling, for example, or shooting a hidden skull on top of the church to do your own cover of It's Rainin' Men for extra resources. I don't want to spoil all of these, but there are a lot of them, and they're all fun, some in pretty wild ways. My only complaint is that to do the fun stuff, you'll essentially need a pre-built group. Every match-made group I ran with either had no idea what they were doing or didn't feel like talking, so our ability to make progress was limited. And I don't just mean the Easter eggs, you'll need to know what perks to buy first.
Anybody got mouthwash?
be that increased speed or faster reload times, when to pack-a-punch your weapons with essence or upgrade their rarity with salvage, where to buy armor upgrades, what Easter egg goodies to save for late game, and a whole lot more. The only thing I found not getting a lot of spin in my runs were gobblegums, single-use candies that return from Black Ops 3 and provide unique power-ups during matches. Essentially, you bring a customized pack into matches and then spend essence at gobblegum machines to get them mid-match. You can also earn them by finishing challenges and completing rounds. It's a cool idea, and there are some strong gobblegums out there, like Wonder Bar, which will give you a guaranteed wonder weapon the next time you open a mystery box, but my team generally felt it was better to spend money on more expensive guaranteed boons, like a Pack-a-Punch upgrade, rather than to gamble on the less expensive gobblegums. Don't get me wrong, learning to make sense of all this stuff is part of the fun. If you've played zombies before, some of it will come naturally, but it does require a lot of coordination, and if you don't have that, well, you could be in for a rough time. Treyarch plans to provide a more guided, story-focused version of the mode later on that will disable Easter eggs and side quests, but I kinda wish it was here now so I didn't have to roll the matchmaking dice every time my friends were busy. At least any account progression you earn in zombies carries over to the multiplayer if you want to take a break though.
Double point.
If you want to do the main quest, you'd better be in it for the long haul. Completing a map can take hours, even if you're doing it right, and you can't save your progress unless you're playing solo. The first time I cleared Liberty Falls, for instance, it took our group about 3 hours. We were, admittedly, doing a lot of optional stuff, but that is still a long time. Getting near the end of a map and dying is soul-crushing, not because you failed, but because of how long it can take to do all of it again. One night, we got most of the way through a map, died, and then tried again for about 10 rounds before all of us realized we were exhausted, and should probably just pick things back up tomorrow. There are also some annoying bugs. Sometimes I couldn't interact with objects and my teammates would have to so we could progress, while other times trying to pick up our wonder weapon would always drop the same, super upgraded Pack-a-Punch gun instead of the cheap one we wanted to give up. We also had mid-match disconnects and stuttering. No big multiplayer game launches without similar problems, but they're no fun either way. Once, we couldn't even get out of a match properly. We didn't lose progress, thankfully, but it was still obnoxious.
Don't worry, mate.
We've got your jug of HVT juice panels, now what?
I can sum up Black Ops 6's zombie mode with a quote from one of the guys I was playing with. I don't think I have the right sniper rifle because the enemies aren't exploding. He wasn't being figurative. There's a sniper rifle that, when upgraded, literally shoots grenades. There are spider monsters that explode from the corpses of dead zombies and hordes so big that if you're not careful, they will kill your whole team before one of you can say, "Please revive me, I have a ray gun." It is absurd and campy and amazing and goofy in all the right ways. When you clear a map for the first time, that monumental task will have you feeling equal parts exhausted and triumphant. There are some annoyances here and there in terms of bugs, but that hasn't made me want to stop playing. In fact, I think I'll hop back into Terminus tonight. There are a couple more Easter eggs I want to track down. And who knows, maybe, eventually, I'll play the rest of Black Ops 6. But right now, I've got zombies to kill. For more about Black Ops 6, check out our reviews of its single-player campaign and multiplayer PvP. And for everything else, keep it here at IGN.